You ever watch a movie so exciting that you're at the edge of your seat, heart pounding, hands clutching your popcorn tub, eyes glued to the screen? You know, the kind of flick where the hero's back's against the wall. They've got the odds stacked high against them, but they still manage to pull through and win the day. If you've seen one, you'll know just how thrilling it can be. Now, imagine that, but in the world of football, with a whole season's worth of plot twists and climaxes. Ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what we got from Manchester City's sensational 2022-23 season. This ain't just about 22 players on a pitch and a ball. This is a tale of tactical genius, intense passion, incredible teamwork, and individuals stepping up in big ways. Think of our hero, Pep Guardiola, a mastermind who isn't afraid of shaking things up and fitting the pieces of the puzzle in the most unexpected ways. Picture Erling Haaland, the new guy who turns the game on its head with a mind-boggling 52 goals in his debut season. Then there's John Stones, the unlikely midfield maestro putting a twist in our plot. Imagine overcoming massive obstacles, fighting off accusations, and rallying back from an 8-point deficit to win the Premier League title. Now, hold that thought, and add to it the euphoria of a Champions League victory, the ultimate goal that was finally achieved. Intrigued? You should be. Buckle up, my friends, because we're about to dive headfirst into the rollercoaster ride that was Manchester City's epic 2022-23 season. Trust me, you won't want to miss a second of this. Pep Guardiola is no stranger to making tactical modifications to already successful teams. But ahead of Manchester City's historic 2022-23 campaign, he had to make one major change, that of incorporating the team's major summer signing and new number 9, Erling Haaland. Haaland's form was spectacular from pretty much the moment he arrived in English football. 52 goals in all competitions in his first season gives evidence in abundance of that. The team as a whole, however, took a little more time to hit full stride. When they did, the results were more in line with what we have come to expect from City during the Guardiola era. Between defeat at Tottenham in early February and a by then meaningless loss at Brentford in late May, City won 20 and drew 5 in an unbeaten run that formed the foundations of their run to the treble. But how did Guardiola develop his tactics across the season, and what were the key elements behind his team's staggering success? Our experts have picked out 5 areas of interest, beginning with perhaps the most fascinating of all, the rise of John Stones, the midfielder. Traditionally, City's build-up in the first third would feature the 2 centre-backs in a back 4 starting wide, and the goalkeeper Ederson playing a central role. Ederson's quality on the ball means he is still heavily involved, but the setup in front of him has changed. Previously, as well as the 2 available centre-backs, the goalkeeper would have the option of playing into the team's single pivot, usually Rodri. Now, the first line of attack in front of Ederson is made up of 3 players. 1 centre-back, mostly Ruben Diaz, and 2 outside him, who are either centre-backs or full-backs. This has usually been 2 of Manuel Akanji, Nathan Ake, and Kyle Walker. The key difference has been the addition of a second central midfielder in the second line, in the form of John Stones. With Stones operating on the same line as Rodri, the opposition has been forced in committing more players in the central channel, which has created more space for players to receive or drive into outside them. The 3-2 structure in build-up was often replicated in the final third, where one of the number 10s, usually Ilkay Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne, would advance in support of Haaland. That would leave an attacking line of 3, the other number 10 plus the 2 wide attackers, often Jack Grealish and Bernardo Silva behind them. Opponents would here face the decision of whether to mark zonally or go man for man. If they marked zonally, City were particularly accurate and aggressive when space opened up behind. If the opposition went man for man, there was space in between the lines for City's intelligent number 10s to exploit. All of the above also allowed City to play more directly, a weapon not common in Guardiola teams, to overcome opposition presses in their own half and attack in the opposition half with significant numbers. Possession versus progression. Despite the high technical level throughout the squad, City's reliance on short build-up play had not always worked in their favour. Highly organized opposition presses worked to reduce both their space and time on the ball, which caused problems even for players of City's quality. As a result, possession didn't always lead to progression. With Haaland in the team, however, Guardiola now had the realistic option of a direct ball into the front line. Opponents that had previously used an effective high press against City now had to think twice about doing so again, against a forward with the ability to protect and retain longer passes, and teammates looking to support in numbers. The result of this, of course, is that many opponents took up a more conservative block, and City continued to play with possession at the heart of their build-up. The enduring quality of Ederson and those in front of him on the ball, together with numbers further forward, gave the team an increased ability to adapt to every kind of situation they faced. Erling Haaland. It's impossible to accurately analyze the development in Guardiola's team without focusing specifically on the impact of their new number 9. But the manager has also developed his team to exploit Haaland's potential to its full. As already covered, if progress was difficult in the face of a good opposition press, Haaland was capable of receiving all kinds of direct ball with his back to goal. This allowed his teammates to get forward and exploit the space in behind created by defenders dragged out of position to track him. The Norwegian attacked areas of the box where the ball could drop with constant off-the-ball runs, often finishing with his first touch or looking for an option that ended with a shot. Haaland's impact isn't limited to the in-position phase, of course. The team's intense full-pitch press was only possible thanks to his ability to sustain such a high tempo from the front line throughout games. But he also has the tactical intelligence to know where to direct his pressing and how to take advantage of his positioning after a regain. From there, his combination of pace, power, and finishing often proved fatal to beleaguered opponents. Alright folks, we're halfway through this football analysis ride, and if you're enjoying it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. You know what else you can do? Hit that subscribe button to stay in the loop with our latest deep dives. And don't forget to ding that bell so you never miss our new content. Now, let's get back into it, shall we? City have long been able to rely on high-quality set-piece delivery, with the likes of De Bruyne, Gundogan, and Riyad Mahrez all expert at dead ball situations. The addition of Haaland has given the team an added threat in not only attacking the first ball, but also seizing on second balls and rebounds, while the likes of Ruben Diaz, Manuel Akanji, Nathan Ake, and John Stones offer height and physicality in both boxes. The result is that City can now rely on direct crosses and deliveries into the box much more than Guardiola teams traditionally would. On top of this, teams are now so concerned with City's direct threat at set pieces that it gives Guardiola's team the opportunity to take advantage with more nuanced deliveries. Gundogan's second goal in the FA Cup final victory over Manchester United, which turned out to be the match winner, gave a great example of this. With United packing the box to deal with City's physical threat, De Bruyne was able to clip a ball to a totally free Gundogan on the edge of the area. Out of possession. In the 2022-23 season, City's defensive organisation shifted to a more traditional 4-4-2 shape. From their adapted 3-2-4-1 in possession formation, one of the double pivot dropped into the defensive line, while the other would push up into the midfield zone. One of the number 10s would advance to press alongside the striker, creating the 4-4-2. The relatively narrow midfield line of 4 gave City a protective central overload that forced their opponents wide. From here, City pressed their opponents with a closed funnel structure that often forced them to play long, and into City's increasingly powerful backline, or backwards, encouraging City's effective high press. Once they had won the ball, Guardiola's team was as effective as ever on the counter-attack, with the 2 players in the front line well positioned to attack the box, or get in behind the defensive line in transition. Hey, before you hit the road, like our take on the beautiful game, don't miss a beat. Hit subscribe. Want a heads up on new content? Ding that bell for notifications. If you've enjoyed our deep dive, let us know with a like. Easy as a Haaland tap-in. Keep loving football, folks. Catch you on the flip side. And so, as the final whistle echoes in our ears, we bid farewell to Manchester City's legendary 2022-23 season. Like the closing chapter of a spellbinding novel, we're left in awe, hearts still pounding from the thrilling journey we've just experienced. It's like we've just witnessed an epic saga, where Guardiola, our brilliant strategist, has masterminded a legendary campaign. His canvas, the football pitch. His paintbrush, The likes of Erling Haaland, a new star shining bright on England's football skyline, and John Stones, a familiar figure in an unexpected role. From the resilience of the players to ingenious tactics, we've seen the highs, the lows, the thrilling victories, and the hard-learned lessons. We've seen football evolve, transform, and become a canvas for daring innovation. We've been on the edge of our seats, breathlessly watching as each new strategy unfolded, as every goal was scored, and as each trophy was lifted high into the sky. Just like every epic story, this season has left an imprint that won't be forgotten anytime soon. It's a testament to the fact that in football, like in life, the unexpected can lead to the most extraordinary results. And as we leave the stadium, we carry with us the echo of the roaring crowd, the memory of that exhilarating final match, and the anticipation of what's to come. Because if there's one thing we've learned from this mesmerizing season, it's that in the world of football, the show is never over. It's just intermission. So until we meet again in the next season, let's hold on to this feeling, the thrill, the joy, and the sheer love of the beautiful game. Here's to football, to Manchester City, and to the enduring magic that is the beautiful game. Until next time, folks, keep those scarves flying high.